Good morning. Welcome to another One Mind meditation. It is Monday morning, and we get here together every morning, but on a Monday morning specifically, we get together here to jump off into the week together. Every week, I like to focus on the work of a different teacher. Some weeks we mix it up a little bit, but this week specifically, the teacher is Neale Donald Walsch. If you have never heard of him, if you haven't read anything from him, he wrote a book many years ago called Conversations with God, and I'd really recommend the book. It is really so good. Somebody, good morning. Happy Monday to you. Welcome to the start of a new week. So Neale Donald Walsch will help us into our meditation every morning this week. Stepping into a new week, you have the choice between creating from a place of fear or creating from a place of freedom. And Neale Donald Walsch poetically describes this as the choice between fear and love. Michelle, good morning. Happy Monday to you. And Anthony, good morning. Happy Monday to you too. Listen to how Neale Donald Walsch describes this. He says, all human actions are motivated at their deepest level by two emotions, fear or love. In truth, there are only these two emotions, only two words in the language of the soul. And I love how he contrasts these two in a way that you can really feel what he says. He says fear wraps our bodies in clothing, and love allows us to stand naked. Fear clings to and clutches onto all that we have, and love gives away all that we have. Fear holds close, but love holds dear. Fear grasps, love lets go. Fear rankles, love soothes. Fear attacks, but love amends. Pat, good morning. Happy Monday to you. It's good to see you there. Neale Donald Walsch says that every single free choice that you ever undertake arises out of one of these two possible thoughts. There are a thought of love or a thought of fear. Fear is the energy which contracts, closes down, draws in, runs, hides, hoards, or harms. Love is the energy which expands, opens up, sends out, stays, reveals, shares, and heals. Every human thought, word, or deed is based in one emotion or the other. You have no choice about this because there is nothing else from which to choose. But you have free choice about which of these to select, love or fear. Creating in fear will do its job to keep you alive. Listen to it again. Hey, Pepe, a good evening to you. It's awesome seeing you. Creating in fear will do its job to keep you alive, but creating in freedom is the true expression of your soul. When you create in fear, your highest achievement will be to become the best version of your limited self. I want to repeat that one more time. When you create in fear, the best that you can hope for is to become the best version of your limited self. Step into your unlimited nature and see what you can create when you embrace freedom, when you embrace possibilities over problems. That is our setup for this week. Are you ready to dive in with me? You can close your eyes and let's jump off into the week together, starting with the first few big breaths. Let's take a deep breath in and out. Take a deep breath in and out. A deep inhale. And let it go. Big breath in and out. One more deep breath in and let it all flow away. You can continue the same breathing pattern on your own time. Every slow inhale through your nose gets drawn all the way deep down into your belly. And as you fill up your belly with air, also raise yourself up. As you breathe in, stretch out your spine, lift the top of your head toward the ceiling, and once you've reached your full height, let all of it go. As you exhale, soften. As you breathe out, soften your spine, slump down your shoulders, and drop your head. While you continue your own full body breathing, inhaling all the way up and exhaling by allowing your body to collapse all the way down. I want to remind you of what exactly you're doing right now. You are taking this body by the hand and saying, I'm going to teach you. This is how we're going to do this. You're taking this body by the hand and saying, I want to create moments where we turn away from what we're busy doing, where we turn away from the busyness and take a few moments to just breathe. You're taking this body by the hand and saying, in these moments, for the moment, we'll put everything down and just focus on our breath. You're taking this body by the hand and saying, notice as you exhale how your shoulders fall, and how your body softens. Notice how the rest of the time you often have your shoulders pulled up high and tight next to your ears. Feel the opposite for a moment. Feel for a moment what a soft body feels like. Feel for a moment what a slower heartbeat feels like. Feel for a moment what lower brain waves feel like. And then, when we've taken a minute or two, and we turn back towards the world and the work that needs to get done, notice that we feel a bit clearer. We feel a bit calmer. We can pay attention to exactly where our attention needs to go. How many spots during your day can you work this in? How many times in a day, every day this week, can you take your body by the hand and say, for a moment, let's turn away and soften? Perhaps every time you sit in front of your computer, just before your fingers touch the keys, take a moment to breathe and soften. Perhaps every time you get into the car, you shuffle in behind the steering wheel, and just before you hit the ignition, take a moment. You're going to be driving through traffic. Do you want to do that consciously or driven by fear? Perhaps every time you put on the kettle to make a conscious cup of tea or coffee, help this body stop while you hear the kettle slowly warming up. Take a few big breaths. Soften. Return to the world more clear. You know how to do this. You got another week to practice. We'll take the last few big breaths of this phase together, helping our bodies stretch, adjust, and settle down into as much comfort as possible for the rest of our journey. Let's take a deep breath in. And as you release, drop your head all the way forward. Roll out your neck muscles, going forward and to the left, and forward and to the right. Take a deep breath in. As you release, roll your shoulders forward in big, slow circles. Take a deep breath in. As you release, roll your shoulders backwards in big, slow circles. Take a deep breath in. As you release, focus on your spine. Lean your upper body over to the left and lean your upper body over to the right. Feel yourself stretching into back muscles. Feel where the edges are and gently lean into those edges. One more big breath in. And as you release, you can stretch or move or adjust any part of your body that still needs a bit of help settling down. Having softened our bodies into a state of presence as much as we are able to for the moment, we can now turn our attention inwards and dive deep inside for the next part of our journey. If you don't have the time to sit for the whole meditation with us, then this is a really good place to stop. But if you are here for the whole journey, then with every next inhale, we'll hold our breath for a few short moments, followed by a long and slow exhale. Let's take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, make it the longest, slowest exhale that you possibly can. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, feel into your body and feel how softness slowly settles in every muscle of your body. Take a deep breath in and hold. And as you release, follow the downwards flow through your body. Feel your shoulders slowly falling, feel your body slowly softening, and feel how you are slowly slipping deeper into you. One more big breath in and hold. As you release, feel yourself melting. Feel your whole body dissolving. Feel how you are slipping into a deeper level of surrender with every slow exhale. You can continue the same breathing pattern on your own time. Every slow inhale through your nose is an invitation. It invites you to turn inwards and follow this journey. As you breathe in, feel the air flow in through your nostrils. Feel the air touch the back of your throat. Stay with your breath as it flows in through your lungs. And as you fill up the balloon inside your belly, feel yourself slip all the way in. Hold your breath, but hold it only for as long as it feels easy. Followed by a really long, really slow exhale. With your next big breath as you dive deep into you, see yourself standing at the start of a new week. Right on the edge, your toes sticking out over the edge, ready to dive in. Take your next big breath. For the moment, I want you to remind yourself of what the week ahead looks like. I want you to remind yourself of what is known about the week ahead. What is already in the calendar. Take a moment to walk through Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. What are the things that you know that you will encounter? The people you know you need to see, the things you know you need to do, the places you know you need to go. How clear a picture can you form of what is known this week? Take your next big breath. And with a clear picture of the known things that you will encounter this week, let's see if you can also form a clear picture of what it is you want to create this week. Do you have a goal for this week? Do you have multiple goals for this week? Do you have a clear intention for this week? Try not to be confused by all of these words and themes. Just choose one thing. Can you form a clear picture of what you are reaching for this week? A clear goal as you take your next big breath. Then for the moment, transport yourself a week ahead in time to the end of the next week. And if you stand there and look back, what are the things that you'd like to check off of your list? When you get to the end of the week, and if you have a checklist, what would you like to say? I got this done, I got that done, check them off the list. Are there things for which you'd like to say, I made progress on this one, or I got started on that one? What does your checklist look like when you arrive at the end of this week? See if you can form a clear picture. Take your next big breath. On a Monday morning, we always look into the week ahead, and the theme is, what do you create this week? And how are you creating this week? And I always feel strongly that we create from either one of two places. We create from a place of fear, or we create from a place of freedom. And that fear causes us, while, give it its due, fear can drive us to reach goals, and fear can do its job to keep us alive, but it causes us to create while we're looking over our shoulder. Can you feel how that holds you back? Can you feel how if you create in fear, you'll never create at your potential? While you're creating, looking over your shoulder. When your motivation for creating is, I need to avoid these punishments. I need to avoid those consequences. The best we can hope for when we create in fear is that we might become the best version of our limited self. I mean, that's not a judgment, a criticism. That's not a bad thing. That's where most of us in the world find ourselves. It's just not our potential. Can you discover within yourself a sense of when you're creating in fear? When your reason for creating is the consequences you're trying to avoid. Take a moment and remind yourself, where have you felt yourself reach for a goal in fear? Take your next big breath. or recreate from a place of freedom. And that changes the reason why we reach for the goal we reach for. Even if the goal perhaps could be the exact same goal as from a place of fear, but the reason for creating becomes different. From a place of freedom, we recognize possibility. We recognize opportunity. We recognize that we have potential, and we reach because we're inspired by those things. Do you have experience of being motivated by freedom in your creating? When you set a goal because you believe it's possible to achieve, not just because you want to avoid negative consequences. With your next big breath, as you dive deep into you, can you recall a moment or a period of time in your life where what you reached for was inspired by possibility, by opportunity, by having a realization of your own potential? Take your next big breath. Fear will do its job to help you reach goals. Fear will do its job to help you survive. But fear will never be the instrument that helps you thrive. You can even build a life being motivated by fear, but it is a life you live while looking over your shoulder. And if you are living your life feeling like you're always looking over your shoulder, it might be time for a bit of a shift. We'll take the last few big breaths of this phase together, slipping out of the breath-holding place and into the next. Let's take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, make it a really long, really slow exhale. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, invite softness to gently settle into every cell of your body. One more big breath in and hold. And as you release, feel yourself slip all the way through. There is no more attention on your breathing. You can sit all the way back, or perhaps even lie all the way back down, and feel yourself just floating. using a description from Neale Donald Walsch, speaking about the same thing. Everything we do comes from these one or two places. It is either from fear or from love. He says, all human actions are motivated at their deepest level by two emotions, either fear or love. In truth, there are only two emotions, only two words in the language of the soul. Let's go through these slowly, and you'll feel whether there's some truth in these words in your life. He says, fear wraps our bodies in clothing, and love allows us to stand naked. Fear wraps us up. Love opens us up. In fear, it feels like I need to hide parts of myself. In love, I feel the strength to be authentic and not even hide my mistakes. In fear, it feels like I almost want to tell other people to hide their mistakes. In love, I know that standing naked in vulnerability is where I'm at my strongest. Fear clings and clutches all that we have. Love gives all that we have away. Does it resonate with you? How fear makes us grab and hold, and love makes us soften and open the grip, let it go. While fear holds close, love holds dear. Fear grasps, love lets go. Fear attacks. We see this in the people around us. We tend to think when we see someone attacking that it's from anger. In the language of today's meditation, there's only two emotions, fear or love, and even anger comes from fear. Fear is the one that attacks. Love is the one that mends and brings together. One more thought, just before we finish. Every single free choice you ever undertake arises out of one of only two possibilities, a thought of love or a thought of fear. Fear is the energy which contracts, closes down, draws in, runs, hides, hoards, and harms. Love is the energy which expands, opens up, sends out, stays, reveals, shares, and heals. Every human thought, word, or deed is based in one emotion or the other. You have no choice in this because there is nothing else from which to choose. But you have free choice about which of these two you select, love or fear. This is the intention for the week ahead. This is my wish for you, that you'd recognize when you're acting in fear and take a moment to breathe. And even if the action you have to take is the exact same action, could we put down the fear? Could we not close up, but open up? And sometimes even take the same action, but from a place of love. We have the last 5 breaths of gratitude to do together. With every exhale, I'll say my thank you, and I invite you to say yours. Let's take a deep breath in. Thank you, Neale Donald Walsch, for such a wise piece of teaching. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for getting better at recognizing when I'm creating while looking over my shoulder. I want to change that energy every time I realize it. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for learning that while I might have thought fear is a good motivator in the past, I realize that yes, fear can motivate us reaching goals. But the version of me who reached that goals in fear, can only ever be the best version of my limited self. If I want to level up beyond my limited self, I'd have to make love my motivation. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for learning that at the bottom of my softness, at the bottom of the freedom that I choose, at the bottom of love, I have encountered the very strongest version of me. The version of me that'll never back down. Because also, it's only fear that makes us back down. One more big breath in. Thank you, beautiful people. Thank you for diving off into the week along with us. Thank you for having your own journey encountering love and fear within yourself. It's not a once-off decision. I think if we can ever make this decision and flip the switch, and we live in this decision easily forever, it wouldn't have as much power. It has the power that it has because we have to choose it again and again. It doesn't come for free, it's a choice. May we please make that choice every day this week. Can I remind myself before I get out of bed, I have a choice. I step into today and create in fear or in love. I want to remember to make that choice every morning this week. Thank you, Nella. Thank you, Sunny. Thank you, Anthony and Michelle and Pat and whoever else is in the background. Have a beautiful day. Have an awesome week. And sometimes things get tough. If they get tough for you this week, I'd love you to remember to reach out towards love and not fear as the tool. Have a beautiful day and have a great week. Ciao, ciao.